they get picked. That's what makes them mad, right? That's the
That doesn't
point.
make
But
them
pick me is a
pick-me's.
shaming term. It's like
Ooh,
it's
that's
a
a
So,
shame.
It doesn't
Andrew, I
make
have
them
a
a pick-me though
question
because they have the validation.
because I do know that women get triggered by pick-me's. So, does a simp make you mad? Like, what do you think about simps?
Well, I don't understand what you mean by mad. Like, if you point to any societal ill, does that mean you're mad? Or is it just
Oh,
something you like to say so you
no,
can
I
be
was
like, "Are
just
you mad,
referring to
bro?" Like, what is?
no, I was just referring to like men because they like typically call out other men and say that they're simps and stuff, and
Yeah.
I think
So
it's
here's
similar to
I'll
how.
I'll tell you the difference. When a man's calling another man a simp, he's saying that this woman is not deserving of validation, and you're giving it to her. When women are calling another woman a pick me, they're saying this woman is getting validation which she deserves from men, and it makes me mad. That's the difference.
But who are you to say if anyone needs
Well, who are
validation?
you to say anything? I mean, who are any
I'll
of
be
us to
back
say
for
anything? We're
Google.
both giving opinions and our assessments on the situation. Neither of us are mind readers, but we can definitely assess what we see, right?
Right, but I just assessed what you said, and you said that
No,
a
no, you're not
woman
assessing what
is
I
getting
said. I'm
validation
saying
from a
what
man.
hang on. That makes no
No, I'm,
sense.
I'm telling you
Hang
what
on,
I
hang on.
said.
This makes no sense though.
No,
If
you're not making sense
us
right now, right?
saying
So
I'm
what
trying
you
to assess
said
what you say,
was
then
if a
steel man
man
my
is giving
position.
validation to a woman, she does not deserve that validation. So my
Yeah,
question is to you,
that's why other women
who are
call
you
her
to
a pick me.
say who does not deserve
Yeah,
validation?
but
No, we're
see what
talking
you're
about sis right
doing. Yeah,
now.
but see what you're doing is a bait and switch. You're like, who are you to say that? Well, who are you to say it? We're both
Yeah,
giving. We're both. Hang
it's
on,
a
hang on,
valid
hang
question.
on. We're both giving a speculative opinion on a thing. Like, who are you to say anything about anything? It's just your opinion on it based on what you observe, right? Or do you have like a
Okay.
magic book where you can read people's hearts and know what they mean by things?
Okay, so let's assess the word pick me then. Can someone
By
define
whose
the word
It's right
of
definition?
the
here.
word
It's
pick?
right on my
By
screen
whose
Okay, so
definition,
pick.
though? Do I get to pick a
Google
definition too?
for AI.
Google?
A
Well,
woman who
Google's
acts
not
arbitrarily
defining
to try
things.
to get
Google's
some type
pulling
of
Where you
definitions.
at?
Okay, so this says that a pick-me woman is a woman who actively seeks validation from men, often by presenting herself as not like other girls and downplaying typically feminine traits. Essentially, trying to be the woman that men would pick over others, usually at the expense of other women.
Yeah. Do you understand what?
That's not right.
That's what
First
at the
of all, do you
expense of
understand what
That's
others.
a
not how.
proprietary definition is? So the thing is like I disagree with this definition. I'm giving you a proprietary definition. I'm telling you that my observation is that perhaps that is what the word means definitionally from what your perspective is or whatever authority you're appealing to. What I'm saying is my observation is that when this word is used by women, it's being used by women in order to say there's validation which you've earned coming from men, and it makes me mad.
Yeah, it's a shaming tactic. It's to make women feel bad.
No,
I
it's
feel
not
like
to make women feel bad,
I
but
actually have a
again,
question.
Okay,
Well,
but
you're a
what's
if you're
pick
at
me, you seek validation. Whether you have it or
okay,
not, if
but
she has
I
that
know it's
validation,
to
good for
I
her.
know it's
But
to
if she's
you
seeking
guys are
it,
saying it's to make
that's a pick
women
me.
feel bad, but how do you feel when the man says that you're a simp? So is that not the
No,
same?
it's not the same. Would you like me to explain?
Not
Here,
the
I'll
same.
explain it again so that you understand. There's a distinction here. When a man is calling another man a simp, he's saying this woman has not earned anything for which to validate her, and you're doing it anyway, generally because you just want to have sex with her. Like that's generally what's going on. When women are doing this, they're not saying this to other women because they think women want to have sex with that man. They're saying it because she's getting male validation, and it upsets
Okay,
them that
please
they're not
say
getting male
sex.
validation. Oh, sorry.
But
Okay.
there are women who get male validation who aren't seeking it, and those aren't pick me's. The ones
And
who are
so you're
pick me's, the
making
ones who seek validation.
you would be either way you'd be making my point. So
How
because
so?
the woman's perspective here is this is unearned validation, it makes them upset, and so then they call this woman a pick me. Just because they think she doesn't deserve the attention, then they say she's seeking the attention. Like, here, let me give you some key examples of this. Let's say a woman puts out an article that is pro male. Okay, this doesn't happen very often, but occasionally there are academic women who do. She'll often get called a pick me. even though all she's doing is getting validation from men who think it's earned because they agree with what she's saying, not because she's seeking specifically the validation of men. Do you see the distinction?
Yeah, I see the distinction, but there is also a difference between a woman who's seeking it and a woman who's not. We're typically not calling women who are pick-me's the ones that are not seeking the validation of men. Women who could care less about what a man thinks but still get that
How do you
validation.
determine
Those
that?
are
Like,
not
how do
pick-me.
you know if they're actively seeking it or not? Like,
Yeah, if I saw
mean,
women, like, I would agree with your
a
point.
real
If
woman
I
doesn't
saw,
have to seek
if,
validation
i-
from a man.
if I saw women who were like half clothed all over X, getting called pick me's by other women, then I would agree with you. But that's not ever what I see. Instead,
say half
hang on.
clothed
Instead,
over
hang
X?
on. Instead, what I see is you go, girl. You're a girl boss. Live your best life, girl. Blah 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 blah. When I see a woman instead give like an academic assertion or a dissertation or an opinion that is pro man in any way, shape, or form, that's when they seem to call her a pick me. Not when she takes off half of her clothes and says, look over here, look at me, look at me. Then they go, you live your best life. So it doesn't seem to add up that your definition of pick me actually applies in reality.
Yeah, so a pick me again would be someone who is seeking the validation. So again, if that woman is on X or wherever she's on versus a woman who is fully clothed, either way it goes, neither one of those women care about that man's opinion. And earlier, when it was stated that a woman who not humiliates other women, but puts other women down for the validation of that man, that is considered a pick me. I applaud any woman who is doing what's best for her. But if you're putting women down in the process of it, then yes, that makes you a pick me.
Yeah,
If
but do you understand
want the
application?
validation,
Like application. So let's say we had a grouping of definitions, but then when we applied them in the real world, that's not what we saw. Here's what I see happening. I see when women go online and go, here, look at my busty bra and me pushing my boobies up and everything else. There's tons of women underneath their account saying, you're a queen, you go girl, you rock, you're epic, et cetera, et cetera. The only time I see them get called, even though clearly that's male seeking, they're seeking male validation, clearly. The only time I see them attack and call them a pick me is when they receive male validation because it's earned through like academia or something like this, and they're actually saying things people agree with. Then it seems like when women actually attack them as pick-me's.
so women who are doing X or whatever they're doing, I do not feel like they're seeking the validation of men. I feel like they're doing what's best for them.
Yeah, they're
Because
wearing
they're
they're
profiting.
wearing almost no clothes to impress women, huh?
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, and it pays their bills.
Uh-huh.
So
But
they're
but
doing
but, but
what's
Miss
best
Because
for
they
Miss
them.
want male validation. Who's paying their
Lady,
bills? Women or men? Men. They want male
Miss Lady,
validation.
But
Like, what are you talking about?
validation has nothing to do with your money, though. Like you
Much
can
work
pay
Yes,
money
it
and make
does. What are you
not
talking
Literally
about?
does.
Yes, it
No.
does.
Much work is
It
male
does not.
validation.
It does not.
So if these if all these men
This is-
invalidated this woman, would they be sending her money? No, that makes no
I
sense.
mean, y'all don't validate her because she's not considered wife material. Is that correct?
That's not what we're.
That's
First of all,
correct.
first of
So
all,
since you all
validation.
are
If
not
they're sending her
valuing her-
money, if they're sending her money, they're validating her. How like? There's no way around that.
Oh, I
She'll
mean,
never get
you
it, bro.
cannot
She's just
consider
gonna
that
argue.
validation if she's profiting, though. So
She's
that's
profiting
literally
from
validation.
men with
it's not,
wearing.
it's not
Off
their
of the
validation that pays
validation.
her bills; it's their money. So
She's
if she's
Through and so,
All
okay,
male
can you
validation.
explain? Can you just help me with this? Explain to me how it would be that a man would send you money and that wouldn't be him validating you, or in some way affirming what it is that you're trying to do. Can you even begin to explain that concept to me?
Yeah, because you all don't validate those type of women. You
That you're
validate the
that
women
doesn't
who
give me
are clothed, who are not on X, who are not on OnlyFans. Y'all validate those type of women. Those are the women who y'all respect. The
Okay,
woman who is
please
on
say
X,
OF.
who does
That makes
not
okay
care about
again.
your respect, does not need your
Why would a
validation
man
because she's
send you a
money.
money to invalidate you? That's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
That's not dumb, love. So you're looking at validation differently. Validation, we're picking.
What does
looking at a
validation
pick-me
mean? What do you think
standpoint.
it means?
Host,
Bro,
can you
she
pull
don't
up the
know.
can you pull up the definition
doesn't
of
understand.
validation so
She doesn't
everyone can see?
understand.
Yeah, pull up
Got it.
validation so everyone can
Just
see.
so everyone, it's on the screen. I already knew this was going to be a part of the conversation. I'll make it
Ilani,
easier
just
for
back
everyone.
down, please.
The act of confirming something is
Okay,
acceptable,
so
true, or
validity or
worthy.
validation.
accuracy.
The act. Listen, it's the
The action
act of confirm.
checking or proving the validity.
No,
or
that's
accuracy
only
of
first
something.
definition. There's multiple definitions.
Okay.
Validation is
action
the
of
act.
making or declaring
Yes.
something legally or officially acceptable.
No, or the act of
Okay.
confirming that something is acceptable, true, or worthy. So how would I not be saying your behavior is acceptable if I'm sending you money for your behavior? That would make no sense. That would be a contradiction.
But they're still not the same women.
He's right.
Are you
No,
seeing
no,
that?
those are the
Still
same
arguing.
women by
Are
your
you
by your
seeing
metric.
this?
They're the same women.
That's
They're not the
validating my
same women though.
behavior.
Y'all
She's
don't
gonna keep-
view them
if
the
she
same
wasn't
way.
getting
We're talking
paid,
If
about how
I
you all
okay,
view
just help me out here. If I
If she wasn't
sent
getting
you
paid,
money because I wanted you to take off your clothes, how would that not be an act of confirming that that was acceptable? How?
You all are viewing these different women differently. So if you're viewing a woman on X who is doing what she does versus a woman who is more conservative, you know you're not going to view them the same
Can you
way.
answer
And
you're answering
what
a
I'm
question I
saying
didn't
is
ask.
even
If a man sends a woman money to take off her clothes, how would he not be engaged in an act of confirming that that is acceptable? How?
what you're not understanding.
That man,
from my
answer
point
the
is that
question, lady.
you're-
Stop evading and just
that-
She
answer.
doesn't
that
understand.
woman
bro.
is
She
not
doesn't
seeking your
understand.
validation. That woman on X is not seeking your validation.
I'm going to try this again.
So
I'm going to try this again.
She don't
A
get it,
man
she'll never understand.
pays a woman to take her clothes off. How is he not confirming that that's acceptable? How?
okay, so you can say it's acceptable because you're paying
Okay,
her.
thank you. So
Correct.
that would be validation then.
Okay, so now that you've gotten the answer you wanted, we're going to go back to the pick me woman and the woman who's on X fans who
Okay.
doesn't care about your opinion.
Okay.
So if we're talking about these two women, a pick me is someone who needs that validation from men, that acceptance from men. You won't accept that woman who's on X or OnlyFans. You'll
Yeah, except that they
woman
do if they're
if
sending
she
them money
is
by your own
fully
metric.
clothed and she is more conservative.
Yes.
So
So
we're talking
some
about
so
the
some
woman's
men will
point of
validate
point. It's
women.
actually
Some
not having to do with you all. It's having to do with that woman.
That's
and how
okay.
she
This is
feels.
crazy. Listen,
She don't
if
get it,
even
bro.
if it were the case that there's some women who receive validation from men because they keep their clothes on, it's insane to say that women aren't receiving tons and tons of validation from men for taking their clothes off. You saying that some men have a preference for this behavior over the preference for this behavior has no
Referring
merit
to the
for
previous-
why it is that we see women mostly attacking other women who are telling women to keep their clothes on as pick-me's, because that's what's actually happening. And that's not for male validation. That could be for all sorts of other reasons, including the society that they live in. So I don't even understand the
A
argument.
pick me cares about what a man thinks about her. A woman on X does not. That's the point I'm trying to
So
make.
does
That has
is
nothing to
any
do with
does
the
any
validation.
woman does any woman so
If you
So
care
any
about
woman
what a
who
man
cares-
thinks
so if you
about
care what your father
and-
thinks,
and
you're a pick-me.
willing to put another woman down.
that's
because
not what you
wanna
just that's
enhance
not what
your-
my question was. My question was
No, and I'm elaborating on my answer. So any woman that seeks
Yeah.
validation or acceptance from a man and in the process puts down the next woman.
that's a
then she
qualifier. I
is, in fact,
didn't
a
that's not
pick-me.
what I asked you. I asked you if any woman wants validation from a man, does that make her a pick me? I'm not asking for qualifiers. Answer that question.
So any woman that
Wants validation from a man, does that make her a pick me?
Yes.
Well, then,
because no
then
one
if
should
that's
want
the
validation
case,
from
then
anybody.
every girl who wants validation from her father is a pick me.
An average man, love. Your father's totally different.
Oh,
But
now,
if
oh,
you're
wait, I
seeking
thought you just said
validation
that
from
any
a-
woman who wants any validation from any
First of
man's a
all,
pick me.
A woman's father never needs his validation. She had that from day one. The average woman, I would hope. I'm speaking about the general man and the general
Almost
woman. If
every
you're looking
almost
at a
every human
woman-
being on
if you're
planet
looking
Earth
at
wants their parents
a
to be
man,
proud
you're
of
a
them. What are you
woman and you're
talking
looking
about?
At a man, you need that acceptance and you need that validation from him, and you're willing to put other women down to get that validation from that man. Then yes, that makes her a pick me.
Yeah, all you're
And if
all
you
you're doing
wanna
is
refer
adding
back to her
additional
father,
qualifiers to
Look,
the
if you
insanity.
want to refer back to her father, if you're having to step on your mother's
Mhm.
toes and downplay your mother and get in your mother's way of your father because you want his validation so bad, then damn right, it makes you a pick me.
I see. So if a woman wants flowers from her man and that makes her feel really good, right? Meaning he's engaged in the act of confirming something is acceptable. In this case, bringing her flowers. She's a pick-me by this definition. You
You want
understand
your
that,
man
right?
to do nice things for you. You don't need his
Yeah, because you're a
validation.
pick-me by your definition. Because you want
If
validation.
you want your man to do nice things for you, your man now. We're not talking about just an average
No,
man.
just a guy
walking
you're
on the street.
dating.
We're
Just a guy
talking
you're
about your
dating.
man.
Just a guy you're dating.
Oh, you want him to do nice things for you, but that's not validation.
Well,
That's
okay,
not
validation. The
And
act.
if
Validation. The act of
you are with
confirming
a
something is
man,
acceptable.
if you're
That's
with a
it.
man that can't do something as give you flowers, then why are you with him? Like that's simple.
okay.
How
That's
is that
even
not validation?
Yeah, that's
How is
validation.
that
That's
not
all validation.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
The
It's not
act of
validation.
confirming something is acceptable, true, or worthy. So if it is the case that the act of confirming something is acceptable, it is acceptable to give a woman flowers. Therefore, if you give a woman flowers, you are acceptable. That's acceptable. So if that's the case, it's validation. Yeah?
I don't think
No.
she knows what
No.
validation really
It
is,
still
though.
it still
That's
isn't.
for real.
Still
Just
isn't
have the whole
validation.
definition on the screen, love. I know what it means, and I'm highly educated.
I
You
see.
are
You're so
confused.
highly educated that a second ago you said any man who at any time
Yes,
you get
any man,
validation
and I
from, you're a
stand on
pick-me.
that, and I stand
Including
on
your
that.
father.
Yes,
That would be
sir.
any man.
If you are stepping on another woman's toes
Mhm.
to get that validation from a man, then
Mhm.
yes, that makes you a pick me.
That makes you a
Well, then
pick
you
me.
get
So
It
now
sure
the
does.
now the qualifier is if you're stepping on any other woman's toes.
Yes, because pick me's are often classified as
I
women
see.
who put other women down.
So if a woman
make
wants to
them
have
feel good.
if a woman wants to sleep with your man and you step in and stop that, you by this definition now would now be a pick me. Because you're
That
stepping
I
on her
would never be
toes
a
to get
pick me.
validation from your man.
I would sure not be a pick me because she can have them. But
Well, so
yeah,
so by your definition, if a woman wanted to sleep with your man, you wouldn't do anything to deter that because that would make you a pick me. Are you fucking serious?
are you asking if I would stop a woman to sleep with my man? That what you're asking?
Yeah,
Sleeping with my man?
yeah,
Ma'am, he's testing your logic and you're failing epically.
badly, badly.
No. I really want to understand this question. You're asking me if I would stop a woman from sleeping with my man.
No, if you would if you had a woman who you knew wanted to sleep with your man,
Nisha
would you encourage or discourage
I
it?
have a legit question because I just realized what pick me was today. So because I seek a male's approval for whatever it is under the sun, I'm a pick me.
And
Yes.
put down other women in the process.
No,
Yes, you are.
no, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
you
but
just
she
said.
keeps on
I
adding
said
that qualifier.
Just
Because
getting
it qualifies.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. But I'm testing the qualifiers. What I'm doing. What I'm saying to you is that the qualifier at here makes no sense. I'll show you.
You guys
if
are
it-
debating on the whole word on what she's throwing
Thank you.
in.
How completely useful for you to give us a recap of the debate we're currently in. So
Okay,
anyway,
calm
real quick,
down. I'm just
real
trying to
quick.
get clarity
We
on
were
the
what we were doing.
situation.
Hang on. You don't need clarity. Just listen for a second. We're
Until
almost
we-
done. We're literally
All right,
almost
go
done.
ahead,
We're
go
almost
ahead,
done.
rock out.
All right.
Go
So here's the thing. I just want to make sure that I got this correct. If a woman, you knew a woman wanted to sleep with your man, I'm not asking you whether you would let it happen or not. You just knew that she wanted to. Okay? This is now a fulfillment of her desire to do so. You barring that in any way, shape, or form, or trying to prevent her from going around your man, anything like this, that would, in fact, make her a pick me by this logic, correct?
No, because my man already picked me. We're talking about general men.
Okay,
You-
so
what?
you have a man?
What? So,
Yeah, I
wait,
have a
what?
man.
So, wait a second.
have a
So,
So are you in a
What I was
relationship?
So you
where
can-
you're
hang on, hang on, hang on,
very
hang on.
General
hang on,
men.
just real quick. I'll
General
tie it up
men
with this. I'll tie it up with
who are
this.
not-
I'll tie it
who
up.
you
I'll
are
tie it
not
up.
in a relationship with,
Just-
who you are
yeah.
not with.
Yeah.
If you are trying to get their validation
Yeah.
and they don't owe you anything, and
Yeah.
you are putting down another woman to seek the validation from them, then yes, that is a pick me.
So let me get this right then. So you can step on the toes of another woman if it is the case that you were picked. Wouldn't that make all women pick me's then?
No.
Well, then
No,
I don't
sir.
understand why. Why would it be okay to do as long as you were already picked?
You're
Pick
not
me.
understanding the logic of a pick me.
I don't
could
understand
never
the
be a pick
logic.
me.
You're right about
No,
that.
You're not. I could never be a pick me when it comes to my man.
So when you first started dating your man, I don't know if you're married or not to him, so I'll just say your man. So you're telling me that when you first started dating him, you weren't dressing a certain way or looking a certain way when you were around him to seek his validation in order for him to become attracted to you or like you or pursue you further?
I never changed how I dressed to get that man.
Oh my
I
God.
dressed
Here
the
we
But you
same way
lying.
before I
You
met
just said
him.
he picked
Yo,
you.
can we
You
boo
just
her?
said
Can we
he
boo her?
picked
She's
you.
a liar.
So in order for him to
She's
pick
not
you,
being
you would
genuine.
have
I
to
don't
have
have a
done
reason to
things
lie. I don't know
differently than
y'all.
other women.
It's
So,
cool. You're a pick me by your own logic. I don't care.
I mean, I don't care what you
Wait.
think I am, love.
I mean, no, I'm just saying by your logic you are. I'm not calling you that. I'm just saying by your logic you would be that.
No,
If it
by
is the
your
case,
logic,
if it
you
is the
think I'm a
case,
pick-me
no, if it is the
because you're not
case,
understanding the definition.
here,
What
I'm
saying
using your
pick-me is.
definition. Your definition is as
No,
follows.
you're not.
I'll give
Because
you
if
the
you
definition.
listen
Hang
to
on,
my
hang on. Let me
definition,
say the
then you would
definition. You can
understand
tell
that
me
I
yes
said
or
it
no.
applied for general
Yeah.
men, not
Okay,
men
hang
that
on.
is yours.
Can
If
let
I
me
have a boyfriend or if I
let
have
me
a husband, I
restate
can
just
never
for
be a
clarity.
pick-me when it comes to him
Calm
because
down
he's
for one
already
second.
picked me. I'm
L-
calm,
Let
love.
me
Go ahead.
let me state your definition. You can tell me if it's wrong or correct. Then we won't be speaking past each other. Your definition of a pick me is a woman who wants a validation from a man, even if it's at the expense of a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not
if
wrong
you
about your
have
hang on,
a
stop,
man,
stop,
I
stop,
don't
stop,
need
real
his
quick.
validation, and I don't. No,
We
because
don't
you
need
talked about him a minute ago,
100,000
so
more
I need
words.
to
I
speak
just
to
want to
you.
get clarification.
You've given
More
I need
words.
to
I
speak
just
to
want to
you.
get clarification.
You've given a million. You've given a
I
million
just
words.
want
Love, so let someone else
clarification.
talk.
Just want clarification.
So, if you are a pick me, that means you are seeking the validation
Yeah, we
of
know.
general men, not
Mhm.
your man.
I got it.
Why would you need to be a pick me for your man?
Yeah, I get
if
it.
You've already been
I get
picked
it.
So what
technically?
happens
Yeah,
when you
I
perform-
understand. What I'm saying is that here's your logic then. I'm going to give you your logical entailment. If it is the case that you're a pick me, if you're willing to step on the feet of a woman in order to get validation from a man, and then you say, but that's perfectly acceptable.
man, not
Yeah,
yours.
I understand. But if you say it's perfectly acceptable to do that when you have a man because you've already been picked, then
I'm not
that
saying
would
acceptable,
stop,
I'm saying I
stop,
could never
stop,
be a
lady,
pick me
stop.
because
Just
he's
let me
already
finish.
picked
Let
me.
me finish,
Let
lady.
him finish, please.
I'm almost done.
please.
If it is the case, then that it's perfectly acceptable for you to be a pick me for your man, then all women are fucking pick me's by this definition. All of them would have to be.
No, that's not the case.
It's
If
not the
that
case.
man has already picked her to be
Uh-huh.
his lady.
Yeah, because
you
so
don't
she's
have
a
to be
pick me.
if you're in a relationship.
Yeah, so
You
she's a
can't be
pick me because she
if
got
you're
picked.
in a relationship. Being a pick me means you're seeking the validation. I have everything I need from my man.
Yeah, I know, but
So,
you're still seeking
stepping on
validation
another
from your
woman's
man. You just think
toes
that's
to
fine.
Smash my man would
Mhm.
not be pick me behavior because he's my man.
Well, what'd you
If
do
it was
before
a
he was
random
your
man, if it was a man that was not my man and I'm stepping on that woman's toes, then yes, that would be
But
pick
what
me
did you
behavior.
do? What did you do prior to him being your man, or what did women do prior to their
Get
man being
validation
their
from
man?
him.
Thank you.
He picked me. I didn't pick him. So
You still, bro.
You didn't want any
Let me
validation?
just say something. Wait. Let me just real quick, y'all.
But I
This
wasn't
person
seeking
don't
his
know why.
validation.
Wait,
I
let me
was
say
not
something real
seeking
quick,
his
real
validation.
quick,
Uh-huh.
real
Sure you
quick.
weren't.
Other
Yeah.
women
You,
down.
you wanted
Yo,
everybody to
yo,
have
bro.
validation from him but
Can I
you.
say
Okay.
something?
Baby, I am the
She's
prize.
never gonna
So
stop.
I've never
She's
needed
never
to
gonna
change
stop.
anything I did
You see
to
that?
get a man.
I want
Alright.
to say something. Let me say something.